I'm Jen Piacenti with Fantasy Alarm, and I'm back with your Week 11 deep cuts for your fantasy football squads. Miss out on Jameis Winston? Well, why not take a shot on Alex Smith? Now, though he's only thrown for one touchdown, Alex Smith has thrown for over 300 yards in each of his last two outings. In fact, last Sunday, he threw the ball 55 times for 390 yards with no interceptions. Next up for Washington, Cincinnati. Now, we saw Big Ben take full advantage of Cincinnati's weak secondary last week when he threw for 4 touchdowns versus the Bengals defense that has given up the 6th most fantasy points to quarterbacks so far this year. Now, over at running back, for all the same reasons I just listed, J.D. McKissic is a great target. Alex Smith loves to check down, and McKissic has been targeted 29 times in the last 2 games with Smith at quarterback. This is, however, more of a PPR play, as McKissic's value comes from the grabs and not from the rushing attempts or goal line carries, which should all still be going to Antonio Gibson. Is McKissic gone? Well, we can dig a lot deeper. How about Alex Collins? We were sure last week with Carson and Hyde both out that DJ Dallas would be the guy, but guess what? We were wrong. Last week, Dallas took a back seat and Collins led the Seattle backfield with 43 yards and a touchdown. Of course, if Carson and Hyde are available, Collins should go back to being, well, irrelevant. But since they have a Thursday game this week, Collins could be worth the stash. At wide receiver, let's look at Baltimore's Willie Snead. There have been plenty of rumbles coming out of Baltimore about Lamar's passing game, but one thing that's been pretty solid the last 3 weeks, it's a connection between Snead and Jackson. Snead has seen 18 targets for 207 yards and 2 touchdowns over the past 3 weeks, compared to Hollywood Brown's 13 targets, 55 yards, and 1 score. Now, sure, some of this can be attributed to good defenses that have been taking out Baltimore's number 1, but Snead should still be relevant down the stretch. Next up, a Tennessee secondary that has surrendered the 5th most points to the wide receiver position so far in 2020. And another wide receiver worth mentioning again, Jakeem Grant. I know he made the video a few weeks ago as an early speculative move, but he's showing up again because now is the time. Grant has seen 12 targets over the past 3 weeks compared to Parker's 16, which is good for second best on the team, with Tua under center. Last week, he caught 4 of his 5 targets for 43 yards and a touchdown. Now, I expect this Miami offense and Tua to start to really roll and throw more as they get into the groove down the stretch.